Discovery of the abandoned alien girl. The Odyssey's mission. The U.S. Odyssey, a human exploration vessel, was charting the Andromeda 5 sector on a routine mission. The ship was under the command of Captain James Pratt, a seasoned leader known for his bold decisions and unwavering sense of justice. The crew's objective was to map uncharted territories, recover valuable data, and establish potential diplomatic contacts with any intelligent life forms they encountered. Detection of the alien ship. During their exploration, the Odyssey's sensors picked up an unusual signal. A crippled alien ship was drifting aimlessly in space. Captain Pratt ordered an immediate investigation, hoping to find survivors or salvageable technology. The crew quickly mobilized, their curiosity piqued by the mysterious vessel. Boarding the derelict ship, a team of engineers and medics, led by Commander Reeves and Dr. Patel, boarded the alien ship. The atmosphere was tense as they navigated through the eerie corridors, filled with the insectoid corpses of the slug-like Plur crew members. The ship's interior was a grim reminder of a fierce battle that had taken place. The faint tapping sound. Just as they were about to declare the ship lifeless, they heard a faint tapping sound coming from a sealed compartment. Breaking the seal, they discovered a barely alive Plur female, covered in her own blood. Despite protocol dictating that Plur, their sworn enemies, should be destroyed on sight, Captain Pratt couldn't bring himself to leave her to die. A risky rescue. Against the warnings of his officers, Captain Pratt ordered the alien to be brought back to the Odyssey. "Sir, if High Command finds out we rescued an enemy combatant," Commander Reeves began, but Pratt cut him off. "I don't care. We're not leaving someone to die alone in space, human or Plur. Get her to medical. That's an order." Emergency medical intervention. The Odyssey's sick bay was transformed into a hive of activity as Dr. Patel and his team worked tirelessly to stabilize the Plur female. She was in critical condition, her blood pressure dropping fast. "I need 20 kgs of coagulant, stat," Dr. Patel shouted. "Get me an XK-47 defibrillator, charged and on standby." Despite never having treated a Plur before, Patel's team managed to pull off a medical miracle, saving her life after 6 grueling hours of surgery. Introducing Zara. As the Plur female recovered, the crew nicknamed her Zara. Over the following days, they managed to modify a universal translator to facilitate communication. Zara picked up English remarkably fast. "I owe you my life," she clicked through the translator, her compound eyes fixed on Captain Pratt. "Your kindness is unexpected. My people have always been told that humans are monsters." Building trust. Captain Pratt smiled wryly. "Well, we like to keep expectations low. Leaves more room to impress." Zara's antennae twitched in a Plur gesture of amusement, but then her demeanor turned somber. She explained that her ship had been fleeing from a rival Plur clan, the Krilla, who had attacked after she refused to support their sinister plot. The Krilla's plot. Zara revealed that the Krilla were planning to sabotage human frontier colonies, destroying their life support systems and causing thousands of deaths. She had spoken out against the plan, leading the Krilla to label her and her crew as traitors. They had killed her friends and left her to die in space. A moral dilemma. Captain Pratt listened intently, his brow furrowed. This was vital intelligence that could change the course of the war. But one question still nagged at him. "Why are you telling us this? We're your enemy. You owe us nothing." Zara's decision. "You saved my life when you could have let me perish," Zara replied. "I do not wish to see more innocents slaughtered, human or Plur. If I can help you prevent this attack, I will. I can give you information on Plur ships, tactics, command structure, things that could help you defeat the Krilla and end this conflict." An unprecedented opportunity. Pratt considered her offer. A cooperative Plur defector was an unprecedented opportunity. He glanced at Dr. Patel and Commander Reeves, gauging their reactions. After a long moment, he turned back to Zara and extended his hand. "Welcome aboard the Odyssey." Tensions on the Odyssey. Internal conflict. Commander Reeves paced the length of his quarters, his mind racing. He had never trusted Zara, not for a single moment since she came aboard. She was Plur, the enemy, and now she had access to their technology and information. It didn't sit right with him. Reporting to Starfleet, Reeves decided he had to report this to Starfleet Command. Opening a secure channel, he contacted Admiral Victor Matz, a brilliant but ruthless strategist. "Commander Reeves, I trust you have a good reason for contacting me on this emergency frequency," Matz said. "The Admiral's orders." "Yes, sir. It's about the Odyssey. Captain Pratt has granted asylum to a Plur defector," Reeves reported. Matt's eyes narrowed. A Plur on a Federation starship? What the hell is Pratt thinking? Reeves explained Zara's claim to have intelligence on Plur military operations and her desire to help. The dilemma. "And you believe her?" Matz scoffed. "No, sir, not for a second." Reeves replied. "Good, because I don't either. Interrogate that Plur, get every scrap of useful information out of her, and then dispose of her," Matz ordered coldly. Moral conflict. Reeves felt a sinking sensation. He knew what was coming next. "Dispose of her," Matz confirmed. "We can't risk her returning to the Plur with knowledge of our ship and crew." But Reeves protested. "The captain has guaranteed her safety. She's under his protection." Seeking advice, Matz was unyielding. "And now she's under yours, Commander. Follow your orders." Matz out. The screen went dark, leaving Reeves in turmoil. Interrogate Zora, kill her in cold blood, and lie to his captain. Could he do it? Even if she was the enemy, it felt wrong. Consulting a friend. Reeves needed to talk to someone, but not Pratt. Not yet. He sought out Lieutenant Commander Torres, who had gotten close to Zora. "Angela, we need to talk," he said, finding her in engineering. She looked up, surprised. "What can I do for you?" Sharing the burden. Reeves explained the orders from Matz. "He wants me to interrogate her, extract information, and then eliminate her." Torres was horrified. "But she's our best chance at ending this war. We can't just kill her." Reeves nodded. "I know. Believe me, I'm not happy about this either, but orders are orders." Defying orders. Torres shook her head. "Not these orders. This is wrong, Eli. We have to tell the captain." Reeves sighed. "And then what? Even if he objects, Matz outranks him. We can't just ignore a direct command from Starfleet brass." Torres was resolute. "The hell we can't. I've seen Zora's remorse and desire for peace. She's not our enemy anymore." Taking a stand, Reeves finally agreed. "Okay, let's go talk to Pratt. But I hope you're right about her, Angela, because we're about to put our careers on the line for this Plur." They found Captain Pratt on the bridge and requested a private meeting. Revealing the orders. In the ready room, Reeves revealed the orders from Matz. "He wants me to interrogate Zora and then terminate her." Pratt was shocked. "Terminate as in kill her?" Torres clarified grimly. "Yes. He thinks she's too dangerous to keep alive." A plan of action. Pratt was furious. "Like hell. She's a refugee seeking asylum. We can't just execute her." Reeves nodded. "I don't like it either, sir, but we have our orders." Pratt was resolute. "We will protect Zara, whatever it takes." Plotting their next move, Pratt brought up a star map and pointed to a dense nebula nearby. "We hide her. The Odyssey has the best cloaking technology in the fleet. We can disappear until we figure out our next move." Torres looked uncertain. "And if Starfleet comes looking for us?" Pratt was determined. "Let me worry about that. Plot a course for the nebula, maximum warp. Not a word of this to anyone else. As far as the crew is concerned, we're just running another survey mission." Navigating the nebula. Entering the nebula. The Odyssey entered the dense nebula, its cloaking technology rendering it invisible to sensors. Zara worked side by side with the crew, her insights into Plur battle formations and ship capabilities proving invaluable. Captain Pratt couldn't help but be impressed by how quickly she had integrated herself into their operations. Zara's background. Captain, I'm detecting a slight variance in the neutrino emissions from that nebula, Zara reported, her antennae twitching. It could indicate a cloaked plur vessel. Pratt nodded. Good catch. Helm, bring us about. Shields up, weapons on standby. Sharing her story. As they approached the nebula, Zara shared stories of her life on the Plur homeworld. She spoke of the rigid caste system and militaristic culture that valued conquest above all else. From the moment we hatch, we are taught that expansion is our destiny. Other species are inferior, meant to be subjugated. Questioning beliefs. Lieutenant Commander Torres placed a hand on Zora's shoulder. Questioning the status quo takes courage. You're not just fighting for peace out here. You're waging a battle within yourself, and that's just as important. Zora's mandibles twitched in a Plur smile. Thank you, Angela. Your friendship has meant more than you know. An unexpected attack. Suddenly, the ship rocked violently as a barrage of plasma torpedoes slammed into their shields. Alarms blared and sparks flew from overloaded consoles. Report. Pratt barked. Plur stealth ship decloaking off our port bow, Reeves shouted. Shields down to 60%. Facing Zavok. On the view screen, a menacing Plur warship shimmered into view, its hull bristling with weapons. Zora's eyes widened in recognition. That's my brother's ship, she whispered. Zavok. Pratt gripped the armrests of his chair as another volley struck the Odyssey. Evasive maneuvers, return fire, all batteries. A desperate battle. The two ships clashed in a deadly dance, trading blows. The Plur vessel was faster and more maneuverable, darting in and out of phaser range and hammering the Odyssey's weakening shields. In engineering, Torres struggled to keep the failing systems online. Rerouting power to forward shields, she yelled over the din. But we can't take much more of this. A grim proposal. On the bridge, Zavok's sneering face appeared on the view screen. Surrender the traitor, Zora, and I may grant you a quick death, he hissed. Pratt glared back defiantly. She's under our protection now. If you want her, you'll have to go through us. Negotiating with Zavok. Zavok barked a harsh laugh. So be it, human. Prepare to be boarded. A shudder ran through the ship as the Plur unleashed a punishing assault, targeting the Odyssey's engines and life support. Explosions rattled the bridge, sending crew members sprawling. Reeves dragged a wounded ensign to safety as debris rained down around them. Zara's decision. In the chaos, Torres's panicked voice crackled over the comm. Captain, we've got a coolant leak down here. I'm trying to contain it. But her words cut off in a scream as a massive explosion echoed through the ship. The lights flickered and died, plunging them into darkness. Torres, Pratt yelled. Angela, respond. Sacrificing herself. Silence. Zara stared at the view screen, her face a mask of anguish. Her presence had put the entire crew in danger. Her own brother, twisted by hatred and vengeance, would tear the Odyssey apart to get to her. Unless she stopped him. She turned to Pratt, her resolve hardening. Captain, I can't let anyone else suffer for my choices. Let me talk to Zavok. Let me try to reason with him. A brave offer. Pratt shook his head. Absolutely not. He'll kill you on sight. Maybe, but I have to try. For the sake of your crew, and for the hope of peace. She met his gaze steadily. Please, James, trust me. Pratt hesitated, torn. But looking around at his battered ship and injured crew, he knew they were out of options. All right, he said heavily. But we're not abandoning you. We'll be ready to beam you out at the first sign of trouble. Confronting Zavok. Boarding the enemy ship. Zara nodded, touching Pratt's arm briefly in gratitude. Then she squared her shoulders and faced the view screen. Zavok, this is Zora. I'm coming over to negotiate. Hold your fire. Her brother's face twisted in disgust. You're a fool, sister. You've betrayed our people, our very way of life. For what? These weak, pathetic humans. Seeking peace, for a chance at a better future, Zara replied, one without endless bloodshed and hatred. I'm asking you to listen, Zavok. Just for a moment. Hear what I have to say. Please. A long, tense silence followed. Then, grudgingly, Zavok responded, You have 5 minutes, traitor. But if this is a trick, taking the risk, it's not. I'll come unarmed. She glanced back at Pratt, giving him a small, brave smile. Energize. In a shimmer of light, she vanished from the Odyssey's bridge, materializing moments later on the transporter pad of Zavok's ship. She stepped forward to face her brother, a desperate plea for understanding on her lips. A tense reunion. Zavok stood waiting, flanked by 2 armed guards. His compound eyes glittered with cold fury. I should kill you where you stand, he hissed, mandibles clicking. You've betrayed everything our species stands for. Zara met his gaze steadily. Brother, please. We've been fighting this war for generations. What has it achieved? Nothing but death and suffering on both sides. Trying to reason. It is our way, Zavok sneered. The strong dominate the weak. That is the natural order. Zora pleaded. But it doesn't have to be. I've seen another path. The humans. They're not like we were taught. They're capable of kindness, of mercy, even to an enemy. Clash of ideals. Mercy is weakness. Zavok scoffed. No, it's strength. The strength to see beyond our differences, to find common ground. Zara took a step closer, her voice softening. Zavok, remember when we were hatchlings? How we used to dream of exploring the stars together. That curiosity, that sense of wonder. The humans still have that. It's what drives them to seek out new life, to build bridges instead of walls, fighting for peace. For a moment, a flicker of doubt crossed Zavok's face, but it hardened again just as quickly. You've gone soft, he spat. The Plur Empire will never bow to the humans. We will crush them and take what is rightfully ours. He lunged at Zora, claws extended. She dodged, her combat training kicking in. They grappled, tumbling to the deck in a tangle of limbs and slashing talons. The battle's toll. The guards stood back, watching the siblings battle. Stop, Zora gasped, blocking the strike at her throat. This solves nothing. But Zavok was beyond reason, consumed by rage and indoctrination. He bore down on her, murder in his eyes. With a burst of desperate strength, Zara threw him off and scrambled to her feet. She snatched a stunner from one of the guards and fired, catching Zavok in the chest. He crumpled, unconscious, taking command. The guards advanced on her, but she aimed the weapon at them. Stand down, she ordered, breathing hard. By the authority of the Plur High Command, I'm taking control of this ship. Technically, it was a bluff. Her rank had been stripped the moment she became a traitor, but the guards, conditioned to obey, lowered their own weapons uncertainly. Making a proposal, Zara hit her comm badge. Odyssey, this is Zora. I've subdued Captain Zavok and assumed command of the Plur vessel. Pratt's voice crackled back, tight with concern. Are you all right? What's your status? I'm unharmed, and I have a proposal, Zara replied. Captain, I believe it's time for a truce. A meeting between human and Plur representatives to discuss a path to peace. Negotiating peace. The proposal. Zara's proposal for a truce was met with mixed reactions aboard the Odyssey. Captain Pratt, though wary, saw the potential for ending the war. This is our chance to stop the bloodshed, he told his senior staff. We need to make this work. Setting the meeting. After much deliberation, a secure location was chosen for the peace talks, a neutral space station located in the Lantaran sector. Both human and Plur representatives would be present, along with high-level diplomats and military leaders. Preparing for the meeting. As the Odyssey made its way to the designated meeting point, Zara and the crew worked tirelessly to prepare. Zora provided detailed information on Plur political structures and key figures, helping the humans understand the intricacies of Plur society. Arrival at the station. The day of the meeting arrived. The Odyssey docked at the space station, and the crew, along with Zora, made their way to the conference room. The atmosphere was tense, with armed guards lining the corridors and high-ranking officials watching every move. The delegates, Captain Pratt and his delegation, entered the room to find the Plur representatives already seated. Among them was General Thrak, a formidable Plur leader known for his uncompromising stance on human-Plur relations. Zara took a deep breath and stepped forward. Opening statements. The meeting began with opening statements from both sides. Captain Pratt spoke of the potential for a new era of cooperation and mutual respect. "We have been at war for too long," he said. "It's time to explore a different path, one that leads to peace." Zara's appeal. When it was Zora's turn, she spoke passionately about her experiences with the humans and the need for change. "We must break the cycle of violence," she urged. "There is more that unites us than divides us. We have the opportunity to create a better future for both our species." General Thrak's response. General Thrak, however, remained skeptical. "Your words are noble, but actions speak louder," he said. "How can we trust humans after so much blood has been shed?" Zara responded, "Trust is built through small steps. We start by listening to each other, by understanding our fears and hopes." Finding common ground. The discussions continued, with both sides presenting their concerns and demands. It was a slow and arduous process, but gradually they began to find common ground. Issues such as territorial boundaries, trade agreements, and military de-escalation were addressed. A breakthrough. After hours of intense negotiation, a breakthrough was achieved. Both sides agreed to a temporary ceasefire and the establishment of a joint human-Plur council to oversee further talks. It was a significant step towards lasting peace. The aftermath. The journey home. With the initial agreements in place, the Odyssey prepared to return home. The crew was exhausted but hopeful. Zara, too, felt a sense of accomplishment and relief. She had played a crucial role in bridging the gap between two warring species. Reflecting on the mission. Back on the Odyssey, Captain Pratt gathered his senior staff. "We've taken the first step," he said. "But this is just the beginning. We must remain vigilant and continue to work towards lasting peace." Zara's new role. Zara was given a new role as a liaison officer between humans and Plur. Her knowledge and experience were invaluable, and she was determined to see the peace process through to the end. "I owe it to my people and to the friends I've made here," she said. Personal reflections. As the Odyssey traveled through space, Zara reflected on her journey. She had gone from being a loyal Plur warrior to a defector, and now a bridge between two worlds. The transformation had been difficult, but she knew it was the right path. Building friendships. Zara's presence on the Odyssey continued to foster understanding and cooperation. She formed close bonds with many crew members, including Lieutenant Commander Torres, who had become a trusted friend and confidant. Challenges ahead. Despite the progress made, there were still challenges ahead. Some factions on both sides were resistant to change, clinging to old